Hey guys, here to talk about the first couple weeks of the Augusta varsity cross country season, which got underway last Saturday. Yes, I am in my work office. I had to come in and get a couple hours worth of work done with some technology things, so I thought I would go ahead and record this here because honestly, the school internet is better than home internet, so I can probably get this video uploaded onto the internet a little quicker here from school. So ignore the mess behind me. We've had a lot of Chromebook things going on, getting those out. So we're going to back up and talk about week one, which we were at the Panda Classic. That was up at Notre Dame Academy in Northern Kentucky. The first time we had been there. Not a new meet. They've had it, I think, 7 or 8 years. But it was, they said, their largest meet. So, it was a different course for sure. If you weren't there, you started out actually the first half mile on a track, and that probably gives a false impression of how fast the kids should have went. Probably faster than they needed to in a 5K. Then after you do that first half mile, you went out on the course. It was basically a two-loop course that had some challenging hills on it for sure. So it was definitely not a PR type of course. But we went out. There were Braley ran first, and it was her first 5K back from her accident she had this summer, and she ran a 5:43, placed 13th. So they did a top 20 medaling there, and got herself a medalist there in the first race. Moving on to the boys, the boys had 4 medalists. Had Bryant Curtis, Matt Jones, Connor Snap, and Mike Jones at 20th place, all medaled. Brian, our top finisher of the day, he placed 9th. There were 71 male runners, and there were 9 full teams on the boys' side, and Augusta placed 4th. So the only Class A school that beat us there was Villa Madonna. Villa Madonna ranked ahead of us in the preseason, so we took care of business against all the other Class A schools. Moving on to the race today, we went to Bourbon County. Bourbon County is the state meet course now, so we'll be there later in the season for that, and we'll also be there later in the season planning to go there for the Meet of Champions. So we'll still be on there a couple more times this year, but it was a hot day. It was a humid day. Braley's race wasn't too bad, but it got warmer by the boys' varsity, and I'm sure it was really warm this afternoon for the elementary and middle school races, which we weren't there for. But today was a big meet. I mean, it felt like a state meet, just based on the size. So the girls' race was first, and Braley's race had 202 runners in the race, and Braley knocked a couple minutes off her time on Saturday last week. She knocked actually over 2 minutes off her time, so ran a 23:32 and placed 46th. So she was in the top 25%, top 25% today. So I think that's good. That's quality run for Braley, who kind of has 2 things going on: trying to balance volleyball for the first time during cross country season, and which limits her training a little bit. And then coming off that accident, she's really just now getting back to the point to where she's doing the full workout. Really this week was I've still reduced it a little bit for even this past week, but this past week was really the first time that she had, ran a lot of miles compared to what she had been doing. So a good day for Braley. The boys team went out today, and I don't think they ran as well as they thought they would here. I think and I expected it too a little bit, to be honest, that they would run faster on this course. This course is, I'm saying, easier course than it was last week. Maybe the heat played a factor. I don't know. Obviously, everyone has to deal with the heat, although everyone handles it a little bit differently. Top male runner day was Matt Jones. Matt finished 38th. There were 221 runners in the boys' race. So, Matt finished first for us. John Paul Cordell had a PR today after running 40 minutes at the meet last week. He knocked about 5 minutes off that and ran 35:40. So obviously a nice increase for John Paul to get a PR. And another runner that improved their time today was Eli Klein. Eli ran 26:52 last week and was, or pardon me, he ran 31:56 last week and was down to 26:52. So, you know, Eli's been battling some shin problems early in the season here, and but was still able to knock, you know, several minutes off of his time from last week. A lot of the other runners were pretty much in the same ballpark as where they were last week. You know, not too much faster or too much slower than they were last week. You know, we had one of our top 5 guys not able to finish today, and to be honest, I thought we would be, maybe there were, I didn't know how many teams there were during the race. I thought maybe there were 30 full teams there, and I thought we would probably finish without him 22 to 25, 22nd to 25th place. There ended up being 27 full teams, and we finished in 12th place. So I think considering that we were without a key guy, 12th place finish isn't too bad. And, you know, I think had we had our top 5 normal scores, we would have probably been 10th place, gotten the top 10. And maybe a little better than that if everyone's healthy, because, you know, Brian's been battling, you know, a groin injury, and, you know, he was a little slower today than he was last week, and you know, that's something we're going to have to try to take care of here soon. We don't want that to linger, and that could you know, mean some changes here for the next week or two for him. But you know, overall, I think if you look at the Class A schools that were there today, and only one Class A school beat us, and that was Bishop Brossart. And Bishop Brossart is a good team. I mean, they're top 2 in the Class A state right now, or at least in the preseason. So losing to Bishop Brossart, you know, we can handle that, especially here in August. And, you know, we beat, really important, we beat the teams in our region today. We came ahead of Danville was there, Berea was there, and Model was there, and we you know, took care of business against those schools. So, as I've kind of mentioned, I mean, there are some really big schools in this meet today. You know, if I get here real quick, I'll list a couple of them for you. I'm sorry, I went to last week's meet. But a lot of 2A and 3A schools there, and obviously those are big quality programs. So in the boys race, for example, you have schools like Tate's Creek and Dixie Heights and Madison Central, North Hardin, Henry Clay, Russell, Campbell County, Great Crossing. And all those schools are probably, you know, we're looking at 100 kids in our high school, and a lot of those schools have easy 800 to 1,000 kids in their high school. So, you know, 12th place, but, you know, a lot of big schools beating us there. And like I said, good to see us, even shorthanded, take care of business against, you know, the schools that we're going to be seeing in the postseason here at the end of the season. Another thing I want to touch on, I've not done a video since this happened, but we made a great addition to our staff for this season. Cameron Snap joining us as an assistant coach, and you know, that's a big positive for us. Obviously, Cameron is our school record holder for the 5K, 16:45, I believe, is the time he holds. And actually, if you look at our top 15 times in school history, Cameron has them all. So Cameron, you know, especially in those early years, was our success. So it's great to have Cameron because he brings some perspectives that I don't have. You know, I've never been a big runner. I've always ran a little bit on my own from time to time, but I was never a competitive runner. Didn't run in high school. Wasn't even an athlete in high school. So I think Cameron brings that, not just the athlete experience, he brings the experience of being a competitive runner and running at the collegiate level. So he can tell them things about training and about hydration and about nutrition. And he's speaking from personal experience. It's not just me up there telling him, you need to be doing this. It's him saying, I've had to live through this, and here's why you need to do it this way. So I think that's a big positive. You know, another big positive is, you know, Cameron's obviously younger than I am. Despite my my boyish looks. Getting closer to that 40 mark every day, and Cameron in his younger 20s, maybe a little bit different connection with the team. Um, another set of eyes for us at practice. Someone to have there most days at practice and be another set of eyes and another set of hands, and another set of eyes on race day. Another place, another guy to coach up the team throughout the run on race day. So a lot of positives to having Coach Cam join our staff, and really looking forward to having him with us this season. So I think that's going to take care of it for today. Looking forward to getting back at it this week. Get another good week of training in, and next week we travel to Masterson Station Park in Lexington. Haven't raced on that course in a couple of years, and those that have, they say they've kind of changed up the course a little bit. So maybe made it a little faster, and they say it's a good spectator course. So we'll see. But looking forward to seeing everybody out next Saturday in Lexington at Masterson Station Park. Everybody have a good weekend. Take care.